There's a voice, and it's a little quiet voice that goes, jump. It's the same voice. The same voice goes, just one. There's a voice that goes, jump. And the idea of just one. And for someone who has no tolerance for it, that's not a possibility.
This is unusual and upsetting, but we got some news. During the show that that Robin Williams has passed away.
Beyond being a very talented man and a good friend and a gentleman, I'm sorry, like everybody else, I had no idea that the man was in pain, that the man was suffering. But what a guy, Robin Williams. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Robin Williams and Good Will Hunting.
Robin, come and get it.
Thank you for this with the little nipply thing on the top.
Did you give the funniest acceptance speech I ever
What Jack is trying to say here is he's so happy to be here he could drop a log. Really.
Robin McLaren Williams was born at St. Luke's Hospital in Chicago, Illinois on July 21st, 1951. During a TV interview on Inside the Actors Studio in 2001, Williams credited his mother as an important early influence on his humor, and he tried to make her laugh to gain attention. Known for his improv skills and the wide variety of characters he created on the spur of the moment and portrayed on film, in dramas and comedies alike, Williams is regarded as one of the greatest comedians of all time. He received numerous awards, including an Academy Award, 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, 6 Golden Globe Awards, 5 Grammy Awards, and 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Williams began performing stand-up comedy in San Francisco Bay Area in 1976. He gave his first appearance at the Holy City Zoo, a comedy club in San Francisco. After the laugh in Revival,
I like you, hairy like me. Can I move this? It's blocking your sideline, no?
and appearing in the cast of The Richard Pryor Show on NBC, Williams was cast by Gary Marshall as the alien Mork in the 1978 episode of the TV series Happy Days, titled My Favorite Orkin. Sought after as a last-minute cast replacement for a departing actor, Williams impressed the producer with his quirky sense of humor when he sat on his head when he asked to take a seat for the audition. As Mork, Williams improvised much of his dialogue and physical comedy, speaking in a high nasal voice, and he made the most of the script. The cast and crew, as well as TV network executives, were deeply impressed with Williams. As such, the executives moved quickly to get the performer on contract just 4 days later, before the competitors could make their own offers. Mork's appearance proved so popular with viewers that it led up to a spin-off TV sitcom called Mork and Mindy. While Williams voiced characters in several animated films, his voice role as the genie in animated musical Aladdin, 1992, was written for Williams. The film director said that they had taken a risk by writing the role. At first, Williams refused the role because it was a Disney movie, and he did not want the studio profiting by selling merchandise based on the movie. Williams accepted the role with certain conditions. I'm doing it basically because I want to be part of the animated tradition. I want something for my children. I just don't want to sell anything, as in Burger King, as in toys, as in stuff, that he said. Williams improvised most of his dialogue during recording approximately 30 hours of tape. Due to Disney breaking an agreement with Williams regarding the use of the genie in advertisement for Aladdin, he refused to sign for the direct-video sequel, The Return of Jafar, 1994. When Jeffrey was replaced by Joe Roth as Walt Disney Studios chairman, Roth organized a public apology to Williams. He would, in turn, reprise a role in the second sequel, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, 1996.
Look at this incredible performer. Al still staying in there with the snake. What do you think, Bill?
I think the man gonna stick him. I think he ain't got no good chance, but he really gonna hang in there and basically try and stick the snake, but the snake ain't got big scale.
Whatever you said, I'm 100% with.
Williams was a big fan of anime and collecting figures. His daughter described him as a figurine hoarder. 4 films starring Williams were released after his death in 2014.
Since it was only a voice, accepting for Mr. Williams will be Mother Teresa.
It is very wonderful for him.
Mother Teresa, is there anything you want?
I want to direct.
Okay.
During the late 1970s and early 1980s, Williams had an addiction to cocaine. He was a casual friend of John Belushi and the Saturday Night Live's comic's death in 1982 from a drug overdose, which happened the morning after two had partied together, along with the birth of his son, Zach, prompted him to quit drugs and alcohol. In 2003, Williams started drinking again, unfortunately. while working on the film The Big White in Alaska. In 2006, he checked into a substance abuse center in Oregon, saying he was an alcoholic. Years after, Williams acknowledged his failure to maintain sobriety, but said that he never returned to using cocaine, declaring in 2010 interview. In mid-2014, Williams was admitted to the Foundation Addiction Treatment Center in Center City, Minnesota, for treatment of alcoholism. Unfortunately, as time passed, he was found dead at his home in Paradise City, California, August 2014, at the age of 63. According to his widow, Williams had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and had been experiencing depression, anxiety, and increased paranoia. His autopsy found diffuse Lewy body disease and Lewy body dementia. Professionals said that his symptoms were consistent with dementia. He did not feel right in his body, and he didn't understand why as well, his wife said. Williams' wife said his last words were, "Good night, my love. Good night. Good night." His son Zachary recently wrote, "There's not a week that goes by without someone sharing with me how you helped them through a dark time or a rough patch."
There's a sadness, and then you have to go, there's also hope. I mean, a sadness, it's always like, yeah, you wish they hadn't happened, but they did. And the purpose is to make you different. It's what they call a Buddhist gift. I would call it the ultimate Christian gift. It's that idea of you're back and you realize the thing that matters are others, way beyond yourself. Self goes away. Ego, bye-bye.
I don't have very much time these days, so I'll make it quick, like my life. You know, as we come to the end of this phase of our life, we find ourselves trying to remember the good times and trying to forget the bad times.
If you're that depressed, reach out to someone. And remember, soup is a permanent solution to temporary problems.